Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, we are going to go over the brand new tools that we have on EPS Momentum and specifically the score. We want to prepare for our earning season that is starting in a few days. And we've created a score to help you not miss the great stocks that you could find in the screener. But the combination screener and score brings it to another level. So first off, let's go into the scanners. You may be aware of these. So click on stock scanners on the markets page. And then you have the scans for the day, most up, most down, power day, positive breakout, negative breakout, upward sloping and trend. And you can quickly find stocks that are in an upward, very abnormal upward fashion or chart. So those are the scanners. We also have the fundamental parts where we have the price target raised, we have the value plays, we have the income best, decelerating or accelerating based on liquid names or just the large caps, anything you would want here. We can focus also on earning momentum and timing momentum, which is two of our very famous metrics. The earning momentum is the EM score between -50 and +50. It gives you the ability to focus just on the most important stocks. So the ones below 0 you can ignore. Between 0 and 20, it's very, very good. And above 20, it's truly extraordinary. So you can click on any of these stocks here. Those are top 20 based on a few criteria here. We can see that EM's been above 20 for quite a while here. 20, 28, 29, 31. And here's the result. We get the stock doubling in 6 months. So that's earning momentum, timing momentum, same thing. But here we have a color coding type of indicator that gives you a clear picture of what's happening over there. And then we have the stock drift. Again, stock drift is truly unique to our platform. This is the 90-day forecast of the price. We can briefly touch about it today. And then we have the power days, which is our breakout detector per se on small caps or big caps. So let's see what we got there. Let's see if I recognize a few names. There you go. This one, for example, FCell, clear positive breakout here. Truly impressive. All right, let's focus straight on our screener here. Well, first, let's go to the monitor for a second. Let me switch to earning analysis. Okay, so here I want to look at the chart. You have the monitor, the chart. I can have the classic price chart, but I can also have the power days at the bottom, and then I have the timing momentum. I'll focus on the RMR a little bit later. So let's make this one a bit small. But you have a lot of what we do here on the chart. We can also add the drift here. Let's see if we get something there. Yeah. Okay, so let's focus on the timing momentum. So we have these color-coded indicator that tell you where we are at in terms of the trend. So here we see a downtrend, clear downtrend. And we actually we can make the chart a little bit bigger. Let's pick Microsoft again. And we can see the downtrend here. So clearly, we got a bunch of indicators, all 5 of them almost turning red here. A little bit of a green period, and then red again on that day onward, all the way to here. And then starts to be positive here, and then all the way to the power days, and then the moving average turning all positive. and then it went on and on upward. So that's impressive. We can pull up a Palantir, for example, would be another good example of what we're looking at here. So what is the trend? Let's explain and go over those 5 indicators. The trend is the average true range distance to the moving average. So there's a moving average 20-day, moving average that you can insert if you want to. And we calculate the average true range based on that moving average. As you can see here, it's red going down, yellow consolidating. So think of it of a positive moving average, positive average true range, and negative average true range. So it creates a band where the stock price hovers, and the stock price is hovering inside that band. And yeah, if it goes outside from upward from that band, positive, bullish, and if it goes inside, it's consolidating, and if it goes lower, it's decreasing or decelerating or going down. Lately, we've seen a lot of green here for this name. So on the trend as well, it's been green. The second one is the price momentum slope. So this is the acceleration of the stock price. So this is the rate of change of the stock price with two different small, very short periods. And we can see there sometimes match, sometimes they don't, but they give you another type of color of what the price is doing, which is very valuable. The third one is the risk market rank slope. So the risk market rank slope is the RMR. So, and it's the slope of the RMR. So the RMR is the line that you have here. It's the ranking of that stock based on the one month, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year performance. We'll also have it broken down into all 4 of these. So if I click on signal and I can bring those in, Palantir is kind of the best of all stocks here. So if I bring a JP Morgan, for example, a little bit different. So here we get the shorter hand. So this is the 1 month, 3 months is the gold, orange is 6 months, and the red is the 1 year. So you can see how it's definitely a good 1 year stock chart. We would say it's a 68% 6 months chart. So it means over 6 months, it's 68%. So percentile. So the 68% of the stock that are below this name. And then over 1 month, which is the white, we are 61%. Pretty decent. So the composite of the RMR is this. So it's basically the combination of all 4 into one curve. So yeah, so something that you can use. So there in that indicator, we have the slope here. So the slope is really how fast it increases or decreases, or how quickly it is doing this. You also have the ability to just display it. So I can do RMR slope, and that would tell me when the RMR is increasing or decreasing. So see how it's turning positive here. So I have it there, and then negative again, and so on. So you see the big, sorry about that. You see the big jump in slope here. So again, useful, very different from the trend and price momentum, but sometimes they do match. So here, for example, it's positive RMR slope. So it's all green. But the price activity, there's no real price momentum. See, price is flat. It's kind of consolidating, so not going anywhere. But there's a positive sign from an RMR standpoint, meaning it's beating all of the other stocks, right? So that's a decent thing to know. The Power Days is our probably one of our most famous indicator there. What we do here is we take the price sigmas and price standard deviation and volume standard deviation, or value traded, if you will, and see if there's any number of sigmas that are down or up. So when you see a red P here, it's definitely minus 583 standard deviation down. So that was a major down day. If I can see another red here, so down days, see how the stock is kind of going down all the way to that next P here, which is a green P. And then from then on, It goes on another red P, but another green after that, and so on. So those days, there's maybe 20 of them per month. 20 per year, but they're very telling. So, for example, this is the first negative P here, -2 standard deviation, and then a massive one here, -5. So this is harbinger for what's coming up, like a downtrend, like a significant downtrend, and you don't want that. So that's really an alarm signal that tells you that's it, we're done. And so it was true. And then it ends up with the P fighting back and the green fighting back and rallying top of that. So very useful here. Indicator, again, complete different thing from the other ones, but it tells you when it all starts to be green, which is what we want. The last one is the EMA 2050. So the EMA 2050 is really the what we so it's a slower indicator. As you can see, it changes only once over 2 years because the stock has been trending higher and higher up. But basically, if the 20 is above the 50, it's green. If it's below the 50, it's red, and so on. So it's a bit lagging because there's lag effect because the periods are 50 and 20, so it's fairly lagging. But when it's positive, you're in a definite, medium to somewhat a little bit longer term trend, which is good to know. So this is the timing indicator. Timing momentum, sorry. And along with the earning momentum that you can see here, which is earned at every single earning season, we have a number. And when it's greater than 20, it's a very good sign. As you can see, it was EM22 here. Then it rallied 19, 16, 3, 5, 6. And then it starts to turn negative. And the stock has been rallying, but lately, yes, definitely. But the fundamental looks a little bit not as rosy as before. So let's go to the screener and insert those parameters here. So what we want to do is, first we focus on, actually, let me just clean up the screener very quickly. So we start fresh with just the stock, the name, and the price. What I can do is I can look at all the categories of fields that we have here. We have, 300 or so fields. So don't be overwhelmed. It's pretty easy. So if I type like EM, earning momentum, I can click on the earning momentum, and one of the criteria that I can put in is I want it to be greater than 0, right? So greater than 0, this is what I'm getting. I'm getting 1,000 names, 1,104 names out of the 4,500 names that are kind of fairly liquid, greater than 5 million market cap. So yeah, that's a good start. Okay, once we're done with this, what we can do is we can ask for the timing momentum to be positive. So we have the timing momentum. Remember, there's 5 indicators. So a timing momentum of 3 would be 3 greens and 2 reds. Timing momentum of 4 would be 4 greens and 1 red, and so on, right? So maybe something like 3 greens would be definitely a useful thing because we'll identify really names that are. So let me just pull up the chart here so that we can illustrate. You go to the hamburger menu, click on chart, launch a chart, you close the quote, and here you have it. Okay, so that's really useful. So I have my timing momentum here, which is what I want. The other thing that I want is the RMR. So as we've seen, there's the 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I'm going to use the RMR composite, which is this one. We'll click on that. And then the RMR is between 0 to 100. Obviously, I want good names. So maybe something above 70 is something important. Something meaningful, meaning that stock is beating 70% of all the other stocks, at least in the last day. Or in the last few days. So that's good. So that's the RMR. One thing that you might also consider, and that is useful, is the revision score. So you may not be familiar with our revision score, but it's really powerful. What we do is we have the estimates revisions for earning per share and sales that we can display on a chart and here, and that tells you whether analysts are decreasing or increasing the decreasing or increasing their estimates for a particular stock. So I'm going to filter for market cap a little bit here and put something like $1 billion because I don't want to have small caps. There you go, and then we have 118 names. And then what I am going to do is I am going to look for EPS revision score, EPS RS or revision score, revision estimates in value from the earning day of the last quarter. And you have several choices. You can do 90 days, 70-day, calendar quarter, or just the earning day. And then what you do is you say, I want it to be greater than 0. Add. So now, how many stocks do I have here? 81 stocks. Okay, this is great. I've selected stocks that are best among analysts. They've revised it upward. Well, I mean, we could put 0.1 to make it really upward. Yeah, at least 1 point. So we got 80 stocks. So summarizing, so analysts are positive on the name and they revise their estimates upward since their earnings. The RMR is relative market rank. The relative strength is very positive. 70% of the stock are below this stock. The timing momentum is red or almost, is green or almost all green, 3 or 4 or 5, which is great. And the earning momentum is positive. So we'll have both earning per share, sales, profit margin, and free cash flow in a good trend. Of course, there's some that have a better score. So a 23 is better than a 1.42. And we can filter further, but at least they have a positive EM. Okay, so now that I have that, I have 80 stocks. So, I mean, I can filter on EM and see which one is the most important one. So I got Lam Research here. Can have a look. Lam Research is definitely high up there. And revision is all green all the way. Talking serious. Serious stock here. TTM Technology, same thing. We get a little bit of a red here in the TM. So that TM is not refreshing for the day, so we'll make it refresh for the day. So it's really yesterday's value, but this is something that we're improving and having it refreshed during the day. Micron Technology, for example, let's have a look. There you go. Look at that. Look at that earning revision. EM24, really impressive. 2 power days of 2 and 5 standard deviation. This is major, right? This is really major. So good name here. Garmin and data, Palantir. Of course, we've seen Palantir. So Palantir, yeah, good example. So we have a negative power day here. The TM is turning reddish. It's been all green for a while and then turning reddish here. So something to watch there. Okay, so let's go into the score. I'm going to take all this and score this. So what is the score? So the score is taking 2 or 3 or 4 criteria. So I start with 3 here. But let's remove them. I'm going to keep the earning momentum. So you take the earning momentum, for example, and you say, I want the EM, the earning momentum, to be the higher the better. So that's 1. I want the RMR to be the higher the better. So, you know, the best score wins. I want the EPS revision score to be the higher the better as well. And Then I can just click on run and I can see the results. So I got Ciena, Lam Research, Robinhood. So we get good names here, right? So this is perfect. But I can be a little bit more clever about this. This is all equal weight, C33, 33, 33. It has to make 100. But what we can do is we can refine this a little bit. So to refine it, what we want is maybe copy this field and add the 90-day window of this field. And maybe I don't want to have that big of a weight on this. Those fields are very stringent. So maybe I want 15% here, 15% here, and maybe I want to add something else. Is the one thing that's important is the sales, right? So I want sales revision score and value to be added here. And same thing, I want to put 15% here. And I want this from the earning day. So now I have 80%. So I just need to fix the weight here. So 15, 15, 15, that's 45. That's 50, and then 30 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, let's say 30 here, and then a good 15. That's 90. And then maybe I want to emphasize on this one, let's say 20, and maybe sales as well, 20. Now I'm at 100, and I can click on run. I rerun the result, and now the best stock is still Ciena. Okay, good for them. But what I can do is I can bring in the sales. Well, the sales is here already, but I can see that not only has been increasing since the beginning of the quarter, but also in the previous 90 days, and sales as well, and RMR. So I mean, it's this stock is just like a rocket ship. Micro ACLA mining also is up there. High revisions, and Taiwan Semiconductor is there, right? So now I'm going to throw a wrench at this and insert the P ratio. I want the cheapest stock out there. And there's two types of P ratio. When you click on the field, you can click on definition. And this is the trailing 12 months BNRIs or before non-recurring item based on the Zacks methodology. And we can list it here. So that's the P, the classic P, 12 months. Or I can have the P FTM, forward 12 months. So I'm going to take this because P 12 or 12 months is really backward. I want the forward one. So now it's interesting. And what I want to do with this is I want to insert that P forward 12 months into my my score. And I want to put it as lower is better, right? And I'm going to give it a decent weight. So I'm going to put 20 here. Maybe a 10 there. Let's focus on a little bit less on price. Maybe sales a little bit 10 here. And then a 15. Maybe I put a 15 here. That's 95. Yeah, let's keep a 15 there. Why not? Now click on run. And now let's see. We have a completely different picture. So MU is number one. Ampere's Technology is another one. So you can see for every single of these, we can see the TM, the last price. If you hover your mouse and you stay a second, you'll see the title here showing up. What's important is this one. So this is the P forward 12 months. You have it, you can sort by it. So Ampere's Technology here as so this is interesting. We have a negative PE here, so this is not what we want. So what we do is we say PE forward 12 months is at least greater than 0, right? So that would be a little bit more fair because we don't want stocks that don't make money. And we go back to our score. Okay, so it has by default equal weight everything again. So I can go 20, 15, 20, 10, 10, and then we go 10. Oh no, 20. No. 15. 15. There you go. Nope. Will I make it? That's the big question. 20. No, I won't be able to make it. Why is that? I'm still 95 here. Let's do sales 15. Okay. I'll click on run. Let's see now. Yeah, we got a different picture here. Robinhood, Seagate. So let's have a look. Wow, pretty impressive here. Big rally. We have TSM, of course. Yeah, these stocks are just insane. Genmab. Sorry. Wow. This is forgetting about gravity. SEI, Lumental Holdings. I mean, yeah, this is just absolutely insane. Okay, so that's it. You can see very quickly we can get a great list of stock. One, with the screener, but two, I can also with the scorer be a little bit more specific. So and refine my criteria. So one thing you can do is you can save. You can say score Saturday. Oops, I forgot the E. Score Saturday. Click on save. It is saved. Now, one of the nice thing with the scorer is I can remove the EM. I can remove the TM. I can remove the RMR. And this is the revision score. I can remove that revision score. Right. So now I have 17,094 stocks that are listed and ranked, right, automatically. So this is super powerful because the screener filters and weeds out all the stocks based on your filters. Well, let's assume you filter for EM0 and you don't want EM negative. But let's say there's a very good stock that has an EM -1. You're going to miss that stock. Well, not with the score now, because now I have, Barclays and Eastern Bank shares that might not have all the criteria I want from a screener standpoint, but they do from a scorer standpoint. Okay. And they still look good. Look at their share price. Still look insanely good. All right. So I think yeah, this is it. I mean, 30 minutes. This is what I wanted to tell you today. Really super powerful scorer and then screener. Sorry, screener and scorer, or just use the score if you want, or just use the screener. You just use both, and then you'll get great results. That's it for me today. I hope you found it interesting, and let me know if you have questions.